Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Okay,
Morning.
how are you today?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Okay, today we will discuss about some texts in the extensive reading. And for the first text is about uh, the fall in our star. Okay, for the first question on this discussion is what lesson can we learn from this story? For me, um, this book tells the story of a young woman who has cancer. She attends a support group and meets the guy of her dreams. They develop a relationship, and yet the cruel reality hits and takes their dreams away. And how about you guys about this story?
Uh, for me, what lesson can we learn from the story? The lesson can be taken from the story is to always to be careful if even in circumstance that are not possible. Always hope and pray and even took you are seriously ill. Examples such as this very dramatic life of Gus and Hazel.
Okay, good result. What about you guys? Tajuk, Okke, Gila?
From me, what lesson can we learn is the lesson can from the fault in All Star is that's very difficult to cherish health. When Hazel was diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer, Hazel has a glimmer of optimism in her heart with joining cancer therapy with Augustus. In short, the lesson learned from this stuff from this story is not easy to give up in all situations and still choosing the path of struggle in the business. What about the others?
Okay, thank you, Tajuk. Okke, maybe you want to answer this question?
Yeah, for me, the lesson we can take is the importance of maintaining health and as much as possible checking ourselves regularly so that we know whether we have a history of disease or not, and should be more grateful for whatever our circumstances and our condition are because there are still many out there who are struggling for help. That's from me, maybe others.
Gila, do you want to deliver your opinion,
Yes.
please?
I think that can be drawn from this story is that firstly, life doesn't always go the way we want it to. Then the secondly, while living in this world, we will face life challenges that are certainly not easy. However, all of these things will make us stronger and appreciate life more. From this story, we are taught to be grateful for all the conditions that occur in our lives. Thank you.
Okay, good answer from you guys. And next for question is what do you think is the most interesting part of this text? To me, the most significant moment in this text was Hazel eulogy for Augustus. The eulogy moment is both lovely, sad, and inspirational. These children are aware that they have a limited amount of time, but they enjoy life to the fullest, allowing themselves to fall totally in love despite and the emotional anguish they will experience. How about you guys? Please deliver your opinion here.
In my opinion, the interesting thing about this story is the result that she continues to struggle to get through a tough phase in his life, and battling cancer. That's from me.
Okay, thank you, Okke. How about the others?
And for me, what is interesting about the
I think the most interesting tag is, I think the most interesting part of the tag is the where Hazel in where the Hazel increase be 118 days. This make break the reader's sense of despair about the impression of the story.
Okay, thank you, Tajuk. Rizal Budiyanto, please.
okay. Uh, what interesting about the text of this story is many plot twists that make me confused, and so many plot twists make me confused to understand the story, how this story will go, and not only that, the nature of these characters also took my attention because these characters are very clever and in expressing their nature of our character. So I was very amazed to see this character. It's my opinion. What about the others?
Okay, thank you, Rizal. And the last, Chila, maybe you have a opinion that you want to tell.
For me, the most impressive part in this story is when Gus told Hazel, pain demands to be felt. It made me think that our bodies will hurt when we really work hard and don't give our bodies enough rest. Thank you.
Okay, good answer. Okay, for the last question of this discussion is wait. Okay, what does this story relate to in your daily life based on your experience? To me, there are several points that we learn from this story. Number one is everyone you meet is fighting their own battles. Number two, it's okay to feel your feelings. Number three, you are not defined by your illness. Number four is you cannot always get what you want. Number five is things will never work out how you imagine, and that's okay. Number seven is you matter, and the last is experience life. How about you guys? About this last question?
Yes, was to distribute to the left. There are many examples as a story conveys. An example can be taken from real life is like a person struggle against cancer and they continue to pray and hope for a speedy recovery from the disease because they also have a goal that they want to achieve before the end of their life, just like this Chris and Hazel story. Is my opinion.
Okay, thank you. How about the others? Maybe you have the point that you can deliver here, please. Just let me know.
Um, for me, according to this story, it is similar to my friends who is fighting against cancer. Edited.
Okay, Oka, I think you have a bad signal there, but it's okay. How about the others? Taju or Tila, maybe you have the point that you can deliver here. Please tell us.
For me, based on my experience, the story is similar to an incident that I once found around me. namely a teenage boy who blamed himself for feeling that he couldn't do anything and could only trouble his parents. But as an adult, he met a friend who really cared about him. He were helped to be successful and proud of his parents. And finally, in 2021, yesterday, he was able to send his back to Mecca. Thank you.
Okay, I think for the first discussion or from first story is enough. We want to uh, discuss in the next topic, and it will later by Nur Aini Faradillah. Dila, times is
Okay,
yours.
for okay for the second rating is the story about the Hunger Game. Um, the first question is, what quotes that you can find in the story? From me, the quote that I got was, "It's better for us to die alone, and there is no winner that then we have to kill each other to be a winner." These quotes mean that they both take care of each other and don't care about personal ego because they understand that they can survive until end because of the cooperation they do. What about the other?
Okay, I will answer the first question is about quotes that you can find in this story. Is it true, Dila?
Yes.
Okay. Um, to be honest, I don't know about the story in this book, but I love this movie and so many quotes that I see in this movie. It's like, "You love me, real or not real." I tell him, "Real." And the others is, "You don't forget the face of the person who was your last hope." And the others is, um, "Pita, how come I never know when you're having a nightmare?" I say, "I don't know. I don't think I cry out or trace around or anything. I just come to paralyzed with terror." It's like that. I think that's all from me, Gila. Thank you.
Okay, good answer. What about the others?
Um, Actually, I'm a little confused by this story, but in my opinion, what that we can find is, don't expect too much with people because people change easily. Uh, don't easily put your trust in anyone because in the same as destroying yourself. What we can really is only ourselves, not others.
Okay, thank you, Oke. How about Rizal and Tajuk?
About me, uh, quote quotes that I find this about this story is, won the first day of the match. Almost half of the participants has dead. I find this quote interesting because it describes the purely of the Hunger Game. It's just it, just as simple.
And for me, maybe I'm the same as Elsa answer. I also took one of the quote in the film. Uh, you don't forget the fate of person who was your last hope, and it means someone who really helped us in a struggle to the end. Then he will always be remembered forever and will be a hope for everyone. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. And the second question, what criticism and suggestion would you like to convey from this story? From me, my criticism is that this story is not suitable for children to read because there are many sadist parts of the story, such as murder and blood. What about the other?
Okay, I will try to answer. And the second question is about what criticism and suggestion would you like to convey from this story? Actually, I very love this story. I very love this movie because it is my favorite movie ever. The film retract most violence, but not influence the spectator because it's not something we live in our daily life. Katniss is a protagonist, very fearless and good person, and this story is so interesting because it's talk about adventure, history, and very interesting. And this is very recommended for you. Thank you, Gila.
Thank you, Elsa. What about the others?
Sorry, Dila, can you repeat the questions?
The question is, what criticism and suggestion would you like to convey from this story?
This story is so conflated. It should be told clearly, like the end of Katniss and Peter's farewell. The story also describes someone who is very ambitious to achieve what he wants, and maybe we can take this positive thing to keep fighting and realize what we want. That's from me.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Elsa. Well, but the others?
Criticism and suggestion for me from the story is that the story contain element of violence and murder. So this story is not suitable for young children and suitable for adults. And my suggestion is that the story is suitable for filming, but rating of the film is restricted or can be only seen by adults. That's my opinion.
About the story is my criticism of the story is a romantic element between Peter Moore and Captain Jeopardy. It's too much. So it can disrupt the Captain Jeopardy adventure story. Um, Beside that, I think this film is good and the concept is out of the box. That's it.
Okay, thank you. For the third question is, who are the characters in the text and what traits do they play? From me, number one is Katniss Everdeen. She has protagonist character. And number two, Beta Mallard, protagonist character. And number three, Haymitch Abernethy, protagonist character. And how about each other?
Okay, the main or the character in this movie. For your information, guys, the Hunger Game is series, and including the original novel is the first is the Hunger Game, the second is Catching Fire and Mockingjay, as well as the prequel title, and the last is the Ballad of Songbird and Snake. So most of the character in this story, the first is Katniss Everdeen. Katniss Everdeen is main protagonist, and District 12 female tribute, a strong-willed teenager trying to survive in the Hunger Game. And the second is Pita Miller, the male tribute for District 12, and the local baker is District 12's son. The other character is Gina, Rue, Keto, Folkface, Clove, Dress, and etc. You have to read again in the series because the story is so interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. How about the others?
Okay, thank you. About me, the main character is Katniss 17, and the second character is Peter Molat, that the man who loves Katniss 17. The three is President Snow, the president of Panem, and the four is Hamid Abernathy, the person who wins 50 the Hunger Games, and the other is there are Gina, Caesar Friedman, and Rue. I had
Okay, thank you,
read the
Tajuk.
story and I found that character. Yeah, about the other.
The character in the text, Katniss, Pita, Hamid. How to pronounce Hamid? I don't know. But in this story, Katniss looks very ambitious and greedy. Because she looks like she wants to win alone. And in my opinion, the antagonist in this story is Katniss. That's from me.
And for me, the character of this story first is Katniss Everdeen. The main character in the story, she is an expert in hunting and also a strategist. She is very good at making trap and also fighting. No wonder she deserves to be a main character. And the second is Peter Malak. He is also one of the main character. He's also an expert in strategizing, but weak in fighting. He want to kill Katniss, but didn't because he also want to hunt down the other player. Since then, Katniss and Peeta have teamed up to find the other player. The third is Hamish Abernathy, a winner of 15 Hunger Games as well as a mentor to Katniss. He's a drunk, but he also smart in terms of strategy and tell us about the Hunger Game to Katniss. The fourth is Rue. She is a small child who works with Katniss. She has a friendly nature, so she can fight, but is good at making traps. But in mid-range battle, he was killed by another player who knew of this whereabouts. And this character of other characters is many. It's my opinion.
Okay, thank you for your opinion, guys, for this discussion. That's all
Okay,
for our
okay,
discussion now.
okay. Thank you for all of you guys for your time, for your attention to discussion today. I hope all of us can get good score and happy level up fighting in the sixth semester. Semangat. Thank you for today. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Waalaikumsalam
Semangat.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Semangat semester 6.
Semangat.